Should be a fun one here tonight as we've got another international game here in our tournament. Team USA at 6-0 coming into play today, coming up against the Czechs. As we are set for action, Tage Thompson will face off against Necas. And away we go here for Team USA and the Czechs. Ronek will bring it in outside to David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins inside and an early stop right on net right away. Ronek inside, kicked away. Werenski picks up the loose change for the Americans. Necas takes it away in center ice, taken back over by Keller, who turns back for the Americans. He loses it. Czechs bring it in. Necas. Hit up top. Necas brings it back in here for the Czechs. Try to square up, and he's cut off on his way in. One-timer from outside. Snared by Jeremy Swayman. 3 shots on goal within the first minute and 2 seconds for Czech. And a few good stops for Swayman to start this game out already. Face-off controlled by Czech. Spacek couldn't get a clean shot off, now sends one through, and it went wide of the net. Back into the corner. Keller is there for the United States. Tage Thompson will clear the zone for the Americans. Thompson works it in, dangles back to the point, taken away by Stransky, and it comes to the near side. Pindle on the boards and neutral ice. The Czechs get out. Loco, a shot, couldn't get it off, gets it back at the top, and sends it back down the length of the ice. Race for the puck back in the Czechs' end, controlled by Spacek, and he flips it up, kept in by Cooley. Cooley works it in wide, sends it out behind the net. Pinto there for the Americans. Tried to send it back up to the point, and it goes all the way through. Shea wins the race for the puck for the United States. Cooley will bring it up. Cross-ice pass too far and taken by Tkachuk. Tkachuk tried to feed it inside, taken away by Boyum. And the Americans bring it back up with Clayton Keller. Gets hit on the far side. This should be a more contested game for Team United States compared to the games that they've had so far in this tournament. The laid off sides by the Czechs. They get back in time after the United States touches it. Boyum back outside. Fleck gets there for the Czechs. Cooley takes it away for the Americans. And here comes the United States. Pinto cut off on his way in. 3 shots on goal so far for the Czechs, 0 for the United States. Here's Necas. Cross-ice pass. Pastrnak is there. Centering pass denied by Swayman off the glove. Back up to the point. Kept in. Necas back outside. Ronek up top. A shot from outside kicked away by Swayman. Heller recovers the rebound for the United States. 5 shots on goal now for the Czechs. And an intercept in center by the Czechs. Here's Pastrnak. Centering pass to Necas right on the doorstep. Denied by Jeremy Swayman. Five shots on goal for the Czechs here. 4.5 in. Face-off controlled by the Czechs. A shot up the blocker of Swayman. Back into the corner, Kondolik. Pestered there by O'Connor, who gets there for the United States. O'Connor through center. Brings it into the slot, trying to get a shot off the skate of a defender out in front. And they'll exit the zone. Working it in wide, looking at downstairs, back behind the net, outside, back up to the point. One-timer tipped around, controlled by the Americans. Laurie brings it out to the near side. Doan works his way through center. He's cut off on his way to the point, kept in by Laurie. Smith now can't handle it on the outside, and they turn it over. Working it into the slot. A shot goes wide. Might have hit Smith on its way through. Cooley now gets it. 6 minutes gone by in this opening period. No shots on goal yet for the United States. Smith with a bobble out to Beniers. Sends it towards the net. That one goes wide. Zadina gets there for the Czechs behind the net. He's pestered back there as he tries to get it out of the zone. And they will. Fleek up ahead. Zadina shot knocked down by Swayman. Comes into the corner. Back outside. Inside Fleck. A shot off a body. Tipped around. Still loose in the slot. Hack and whack. In the middle. Still loose. And they get it out. Swayman holds his ground. And now here come the Americans. Matty Beniers works his way through center. Cut off by Roenick as it sends in towards the net. Score! Cooley puts it in. Top shelf. And the United States strikes first. Just their second shot on goal in this opening period, and it finds Pater as he sneaks it in. Take a look at where exactly this went in. It looked like it was top shelf initially. It was not. But still a goal for Logan Cooley, and the Americans take a 1-0 lead here early in this one. Fourth goal of the tournament for Cooley. Here in the final qualifying game, the Americans, one of two teams within this tournament that are undefeated coming in. Them and Sweden are tied at 6-0, both with 18 points in the tournament. And that was actually their first shot on goal of the game, so their first one finds the back of the net. Here come the Czechs back the other way, back into the American end, looking for a center as he feeds it in deep. Werenski gets there for the United States. He's pinned along the boards back behind the net. And the United States gets to it in their own end. Will Smith crunched along the boards. Cooley picks up the loose change and back out to center ice. Luco drops it off. Hijack. Luco sends it through the crease back over to the corner. Werenski gets there for the Americans and they get it out. Here's Connor Garland. Drops it off for Smith, who floats it in deep into the corner. Czechs gain control in their own end. Baranek back the other way. Looking for a center as he brings it in wide. Cut off by Boyum. Good defense. Tage Thompson for the United States. Tried to dangle his way through. He's poked back out to center. Gauthier now brings it in for the Americans. Going wide. Goes back out in front. Tipped around. Loose puck controlled. And no further play with 10:33 to go. Face-off control by the United States. Lacombe denied as it comes into the corner. Nazar there for the Americans, trying to keep it alive, but he can't. Good defensive play by Natchez. Off the wall to David Pasternak. Waiting for his help to come. He gets tripped. Penalty called on the United States. Delayed whistle. Denied by Swayman. And they touch it. Penalty upcoming here for the Czechs. Jackson Lacombe called for the trip. An advantage for the Czechs here in the opening period, down by a goal. McCarron picks up the loose change and he flips it down the length of the ice. The Americans' penalty kill has been good in this tournament. As Zadina drops it off for Fleck off the wall all the way back down. This might be icing, and it will be. Icing on the Czechs. We'll get a face-off in their end. They're out shooting the United States early 10-2, but the United States has the 1-0 lead. United States on the point. Werenski floats it into Pasternak, who intercepts it. Here's Natchez up ahead. Natchez back to Pasternak, sends it towards the net, and Swayman kicks it away. Hesselring gets there first for the Americans, and they send it up and out. Nazar brings it up short-handed. Tried to cut inside, now waits for help. Tried to center it inside, good defense, and it floats back out to center. Just over a minute to go on the power play here for the Czechs, as the United States flips it down the length of the ice. David Pasternak, 45 seconds to go on the man advantage, floats it into the corner, and Werenski gets there first for the Americans, and they get it out again. Nazar sends it in deep. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage. 1-0 United States here in the opening period. Luco centering. A shot denied by Swayman. Comes into the corner. Kept alive by the Czechs as he cuts inside and denied. Rebound goes all the way through. Outside Stransky. One-timer goes through the crease. Comes to this side. Final seconds of the penalty. The United States kills it off. We're back to full strength. And O'Connor crunched along the boards, kept in by Baronet. And it floats back out to center. The Czechs will have to tag back up. Ronek brings it in, tried to feed it in deep. Keeps it alive right wing. Works it in down low, and a diving attempt cut off. And here comes the United States. Tage Thompson, 2-on-2 for a moment. Inside O'Connor, drops it off to no man's land, and the Czechs take over. Ronek to this side. Luco working it in down low, back behind the net. Cervenka out in front. A shot denied. Swayman. 6:52 to go in the period. The Czechs are outplaying the United States right now. The United States just happened to find the back of the net on their first shot of the game, but they only have 2 shots on goal well over halfway through this opening period. Heller will bring it up here for the United States. Head of steam out in front and cut off by Spacek. And it comes back out to center. Von Zelik. Centering pass cut off. And the Americans take over. Gauthier. Works his way up ahead. Gauthier tried to go into the slot, taken away on his way through. Tikacek drops it off. Kodacek, a shot denied. Tikacek back outside. Kodacek fires, saves. Swayman off his blocker and back behind the net. McCarron for the United States sends it back out to center. Tikacek right back in. Here for the Czechs. Drops it off. Sedlak downstairs, denied by Jeremy Swayman. $16 shots in the game for the Czechs compared to just 2 for the United States. 5:32 to go in the opening period. Here he comes right in. Swayman denies as it goes into the corner. Inside to the slot, taken away by Logan Cooley, and the Americans will try to get it out. And they will with Connor Garland. He works his way up ahead, comes in wide. Garland centering pass. Boyum, 1 pass too many. As it goes back outside. To the point. Lacombe blocked out in front. And now here come the Czechs back the other way. Kondracek works it back behind the net as he tried to circle his way around, loses it along the goal line. Kondelik keeps it alive. Pasternak there as well. He keeps it alive. Pasternak out in front. Errant pass goes back behind. Lacombe gets there for the United States, and they'll clear the zone. Doan tried to feed it in. He whiffed. Good stick by Natchez. Pasternak cuts inside. Back up to the point, kept in. Out in front to the point. A shot denied, Jeremy Swayman. 18 shots on goal now for the Czechs, just 2 for the United States. Face-off controlled by the United States in their own end, and they'll get it out. Matty Beniers. Now Nazar. Nazar fires, save, and it goes outside. Just the 3rd shot on goal for the United States. Natchez brings it up ahead. And it goes to the far side. Czechs keep it in as he tried to work his way in down low. Good cutoff by Brady Shea. Gauthier pinned along the boards, sends it out to neutral ice. Fleck comes in, working it out behind the net. Fleck circles all the way back to the point. Ronek comes to this side. Check on the attack once again as he's pinned along the boards. Americans take over. Here's Laurie. Final 2.5 minutes of this opening period as Keller floats it in deep. Cervenka brings it up, tries to work his way around, and he sends it in down low. Good cutoff by Shea. Turnover, one-timer off a body out in front. Never got through cleanly. Gauthier takes over for the Americans. McCarron to Smith. Drops it off to no man's land. And now Luko turns back for the Czechs. Trying to center it inside. He's cut off, and it comes back out. Kept in. Out in front, cut off by Kesselring. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the first period. 1-0 United States. But they are being outplayed by the Czechs right now. Sent in along the far half wall, controlled by the Czechs. Luko turns it over to Thompson. Thompson back up to the point. Kesselring inside, taken away by Roenick. Roenick tried to feed it in. Here's a turnover out in front. Thompson with a bobble. Sends it wide of the net. Might have hit a skate out in front. Another turnover. Smith, Thompson, score! Tage Thompson with a bullet. And it's 2-0 United States. Will Smith with the takeaway and the beautiful feed to Thompson inside. And he let it fly. Look at this. 91 miles an hour. Bullet off the glove. So it's 2-0 Team USA. Under a minute to go in this opening period. They are being outshot 19-4, and of those 4 shots, 2 of them have found the back of the net. Werenski with a good cutoff in center, 30 seconds to go in the period. 19-4 in favor of shots on goal for the Czechs. Ikacek with a good takeaway there. Back the other way, the Czechs, 15 seconds to go in the period. Send it around the boards. Back to it is Kesselring for the United States. Back behind to the other side. Stransky keeps it alive out in front and try. Good stick by Swayman. And that will close out this first period of play. The Czechs looked like they had it, but the United States, quick strike ability, have a 2-0 lead after 1 here over Team Czech. Start of the second period, it's 2-0 Team USA. But Czechia has 19 shots on goal, 4 for the United States. Just finding the back of the net on their minimal shot attempts. United States back in, Keller sends it in, rebound, score! Connor Gauthier! And right away to start the second period, it's 3-0 United States on Gauthier's 5th goal of the tournament. And a bang to start the second period for Team USA. Just sneaks it in just on the inside of the pipe. And Team USA hasn't looked very clean in this game, but they have found the back of the net. 3-0 our score on just 6 shots on goal for Team USA, 10 seconds into the period. Thompson with an intercept in center for the Americans. Kesselring brings it back out here for the United States. Kesselring inside pass, nobody home. Pasternak is there. And now Natchez. 3-on-3 for a moment. Now 4-on-3 as the trailer comes in, and Pasternak Sends it off of Swayman. Nate just keeps it alive. Gauthier cutting them off. Pasternak keeps it alive for a moment before Werenski has other ideas. Tage Thompson drops it off for Keller. Shot denied as it comes out to the corner. Pasternak here for Czechia. Fires wide of the net. Rebound off the wall. Controlled by Thompson. Here's Lacombe through center for the Americans. Working in wide. Lacombe back behind. Comes all the way through to Nazar. Inside on the doorstep. Matty Beniers whiffed on the shot. Goes back behind the net for Nazar again. Nazar turns, fires, tipped in the air, back behind. Nazar tried to send it in out in front. Nobody home. Cervenka was there behind the net to pester him. 3-0 United States as this one floats in on Swayman. No further play. Face-off control by the Americans. Here's Brady Shea. Up to Will Smith, who sends it in from deep, and it's denied off the glove side. Tkachuk gets there. Garland battling for it behind the net, trying to get an open look. Gets pestered into the corner. Spacek is there. Now here's Locke. Stransky sends it in, and it's bobbled in the crease and taken away by the Americans. Connor Garland pestered in front of the benches. Here's Laurie up ahead. To Smith, who gets cut off. Right in on the doorstep. Goes back behind. And the loose puck controlled by Tkachuk. Fleck brings it in. Laurie takes it away for the Americans, and now here they come. Smith to Beniers, into the slot, whiffed, and another try denied, comes into the corner. Battle for it along the near half wall. Smith gets out, Beniers to the point, and Werenski. O'Connor on the one-timer, goes back behind. Matty Beniers sends it back out. Kept alive by Kesselring for a moment. Bindle on the boards, Kesselring, Beniers there to pick up the loose change as well. And Kesselring gets out. Werenski off a body, hit his own player on the inside. And Czechia will get it out. Fleck sends it towards Swayman, who knocks it away. Wendelick up to the point and all the way back out. 22 shots on goal for Czechia, just 3 for the United States. Fleck gets it into the corner. Back through center comes Czechia. Good pester in the center by the United States. Battle for it in front of the Czechia bench, taken away by the Americans. Back out to center it comes. Big hit as the Americans try to turn it back in. And here comes Czechia into the zone. Fleck sends it in deep around the boards. Werenski for the United States. Nazar up ahead to O'Connor, who brings it into the zone. Comes in wide. O'Connor tried to center it. Good cutoff by Tkachuk. Lacombe cuts it off for the Americans. Keller to the near side and Doan. Played just over 6 minutes here in the second period. 3-0 Team USA. Just 11 shots on goal. Boyum, look at the passing, and then a whiff by Lacombe up top. Keeps it alive, and that one might have hit the post. Goes back behind the net. Keller, Pindle on the boards. And Tkachuk gets there for Czechia. Kondelik cut off on his way through. Pinto is sitting back there. Here he comes. Pinto, score! Breakaway chance for Pinto, and it's 4-0 Team USA. His 8th goal of the tournament. He was just sitting there waiting for it in neutral ice. He was all alone, and it was just a one-on-one, and they find the back of the net again. 4-0 Team USA. Face off in center, controlled by Czechia. And now the United States takes over in center. 4-0 Team USA. Not even halfway through this second period. Here's Keller on the point. Thompson let it fly that time. He's already got one bullet of a goal tonight. Thompson, another save. It goes back behind the net. Keller now taken away by Roenick. And Czechia will get it out of the zone. Sedlak will bring it in, send it towards Swayman. Easy save off to the side. Back up to the point. Roenick. Now Hajek tried to let it fly, and Thompson goes down to get it. Off the deflection. Thompson. Inside. Shot denied. Rebound goes wide of the net. Back outside to Laurie, who gets cut off. Laurie gets the loose change. Thompson down low. Denied. And no further play. Vemelka in between the pipes tonight for Czechia. We haven't really had to say his name a whole lot because the United States isn't shooting a ton. They are getting back a little bit more even at 23-17 in favor of Czechia. Garland cuts him off, takes it away. Garland cuts inside, denied by Vemelka. Promise I could talk. Pasternak up top. Works his way in, and a short-sighted stinger there denied by Jeremy Swayman. 10:50 to go in the period. Face-off control by the Americans. Brady Shea to the near side. Cooley head of steam up ahead. Drops it off. Garland shot goes just wide off of the goaltender. Laurie takes it away in center for the United States. Turns back in. Laurie drops it off. Intercepted right on the doorstep. And Vemelka says no. Face-off control by the Americans. Kesselring lets it fly and is denied by Vemelka. Goes up top, kept alive by the Americans. Kesselring turns it over, at least for a moment. Back into neutral ice it comes as we're over halfway through this second period. McCarron shot denied off the blocker of Vemelka. Goes back behind the net. O'Connor there for the Americans. Doan now on the wing. Flips it off the goal post. O'Connor now gets it for a moment along the goal line. Tried to send it back up to the point, taken away by Czechia. Good defense by O'Connor. Takes it away, and he couldn't get a shot off. Czechia tries to send it in deep. Doan turns back and sends it in for the Americans. Melka settles it down behind his own net. McCarron gets to it first for the Americans. O'Connor on the doorstep, couldn't get a clean look. And Czechia will get it out of their end. Stransky tripped. Penalty upcoming here on the Americans. And for the second time, it's a tripping call on Team USA in a 2-minute power play. Upcoming here for Czechia as Boyum gets called for the trip going for the puck. Face-off control by the United States. Shea will send it down the length of the ice. Vemelka settles it down, sends it around. Second power play of the night for Czechia. They're 0 for 1 so far. As Sedlak centers it, one-timer into the grasp of Jeremy Swayman. Minute 34 to go in the power play. Face-off control by Czechia. One-timer. Score! David Pasternak off the draw. It's a power play goal, and Czechia is on the scoreboard. That might have deflected off of Jeremy Swayman on his blocker side. And David Pasternak, 87 miles an hour on the one-timer, sneaks it past him for the game's first goal for Czechia. Take a look and see if Swayman got a piece of this. He did, right off the inside of the blocker and in for David Pasternak. And Czechia is on the board. It's 4-1. They're out shooting the Americans 26-21. And they finally hit the back of the net for the game's first goal for Czechia. It's 4-1, 3-goal game. Heller brings it in for the Americans in response. Cut off and nearly a breakaway chance. Instead, Gauthier sends it just wide of the net. Thompson gets there as he tried to circle his way around. Natchez takes it away for Czechia. Here's the goal scorer, Pasternak. Surrounded by Americans and taken away. Tage Thompson tried to send it in deep. Comes to the near side. Kesselring down low. Short-sided attempt by Thompson. Denied by Vejmelka. Out in front, Vejmelka snares it. 7:19 to go in the period. Face-off not very cleanly won by Czechia there. They try to get it out of the zone. They cannot. Beniers floats it back in for the Americans, and now Czechia will clear with David Pasternak. Pasternak inside pass to Natchez, couldn't handle it. Natchez now gets it back, and he floats it in down low. Lacombe gets there for the United States. Pinto now up ahead. Here's Nazar. Nazar into the slot. Loose puck available, and it goes back behind. Beniers pinned along the boards as it floats back outside. David Pasternak through center, here for Czechia. Pasternak drops it off, back to him. A shot denied, Jeremy Swayman. Pasternak let it fly again, and Jeremy Swayman snares it. Face-off control by Czechia. Into the slot, or at least attempting to. A lot of bodies in there, kept alive up to the point. A long shot, tip try out in front, denied by Swayman. Back behind Boyum, gets there for the Americans. And Team USA will get it out. Will Smith with a bobble, results in an offsides. So in this tournament, the second period is where Team USA has really pulled away from teams. They've only scored one goal in the period, and it came 10 seconds into the second period, haven't done anything since. Will Smith gains control for the Americans. Here's Connor Garland up ahead for Team USA. He's cut off from behind. Comes to the near side here in the Czechia zone, controlled by the Americans. Brady Shea out to Garland. Up top, Laurie. Tried to let it fly. Good stick. And he whiffed on the shot. Undretek takes a hit from behind as it floats back into the American end. Connor Garland up to Will Smith. Smith centers, drops it off. Shea denied. Vejmelka. 4:28 to go here in the second period. Face-off control by the United States. Laurie drops it off. A shot. Tip try out in front. Thompson can't finish. And Vejmelka sprawls out to make another save on Tage Thompson. Face-off control by the Americans. They score! Heller puts it in! Off the draw down low. And the Americans strike again. Clayton Keller just spins and fires the backhanded shot past Vejmelka. And another goal for Team USA. Beautiful look down low for Clayton Keller. And it's 5-1 Team USA. Face-off control by the Americans. Right back up for Keller. Now Gauthier into the slot. Couldn't get a clean shot off. Goes back behind the net. Gauthier is going to get called for a cross check. Third power play of the night here for Czechia. They're 1 for 2. With their lone goal in this game coming from David Pasternak. on a power play earlier in this period, and now another penalty on Team USA as Cutter Gauthier gets called for the cross-check. So another power play here for Czechia. Face-off controlled by the United States, and they flip it up and out. Under 4 minutes to go here in the second period. 4-goal lead for Team USA. David Pastrnak is there, now up ahead to Necas. Errant pass to this side, controlled by the Americans. McCarron flips it up and out. Shots on goal back to pretty much even as this one goes in on net. Werenski denied by Vejmelka. Kept in by Boya as he tried to feed it in down low, and it comes to the near side. Pastrnak up ahead to Zadina. Zadina inside. Pastrnak shot off the underside of the glove of Swayman. Shea pestered along the boards, but he'll get it out. And here's Josh Doan up ahead to McCarron, short-handed the United States. Inside Doan off a skate out in front. Doan back behind the net. Roenick gets there for Czechia. 35 seconds to go on the man advantage here for Czechia. Stransky cut off on the inside. Loose puck, and Swayman sprawls out to snare it. 27 seconds to go on the man advantage. Shots on goal back to pretty much even. 29-25 now in favor of Czechia after they started this game off dominating shots on goal. But Team USA has dominated shots in the goal as Kesselring sends it back into center. Nazar picks up the loose change, and he's cut off on his way in. Final 10 seconds of the power play. One final push here for Czechia, and it results in a turnover. Nazar flips it up and out. Americans back to full strength. Czechia now 1 for 3 on the power play here tonight. We're under 2 minutes to go in the period. 5-1 Team USA. Necas cut off by Pinto. The United States gains control. Connor Garland dangles on his way in, and Vejmelka snares in. Another penalty called, and this time it's on Czechia. Jacob Fleck is called for a slash, I believe, or maybe it's interference. Interference on Fleck, and a power play here for the United States. Face-off goes back behind towards the Czechia net. Czechia gains control in their own end. And let's see if they try to work short-handed here. Looks like they're going to. Cut off in center by Cooley. Turns back in for the Americans. Logan Cooley looking for his center. Back behind the net. Goes all the way through. Over to Matty Beniers. Inside. Gauthier drops it off. Kesselring bobbles. Takes it in. On the doorstep. Thompson. Denied by Velkama. And sent in deep by Czechia. Under a minute to go in the period. Power play for the United States. Cutter Gauthier. Cut off on his way in. Floats to the near side. Gauthier gets to it. Inside pass. Denied off a body. Beniers tried to let it fly. Back up to the point. Kesselring blocked out beautifully. And it comes back out to center. Good cut off in center. Gauthier turns it over. Final seconds of this period wind down as it floats back towards the American end. 3 seconds to a takeaway and no shot. We have hit the end of the second period. The back half of this power play will transfer into the third period for the Americans. They lead 5-1. Start of the third period here. Czechia and the United States. It's 5-1 Team USA. They got a power play that carries over here into the third for 28 seconds. And away we go for the third and final period. 5-1 Team USA. Thompson fires it towards the net. Off the crossbar and out. Cooley with a try now. He can't finish. And Czechia will get it out. That one deflected off of Vejmelka and off the crossbar and stayed out. Now on the other end, Swayman with a snare. 3 seconds to go on the man advantage. Swayman's given up just the one goal. It was on a David Pastrnak power play strike for Czechia earlier in the second period. He's just been stopping everything from the very get-go. Team Czechia started this game out very aggressive, and Swayman has been up to the task. Face-off here in the Americans' end. Face-off controlled by Czechia. A long shot off a body, tipped around, and still loose in the slot. Downstairs off a body in front, still loose, and Swayman snares the puck. 19:15 to go in the third. We're 45 seconds into this third period, and we're back to full strength as well. Let's take a look at David Pastrnak. He is the lone goal on the game for Czechia. Came on a power play earlier in the second, as we just mentioned a few moments ago. But he has been a workhorse and a force to be reckoned with for the United States. And he's the only guy that's gotten past Jeremy Swayman so far in this one. Face off here in the United States end, controlled by Czechia. Long shot off of the blocker is Swayman. Comes into the corner. A lot of bodies out there. Floats back the United States net. Werenski gets there out in front. And he just serves it up to Swayman to stop play. Just over a minute gone by here in the third. Already a lot of action. Here's a shot out in front. Rebound. Still loose in the blue paint and controlled by the Americans. Swayman holds his ground again. Here's Matty Beniers pestered on his way in. Beniers circles back into the slot as he sends it in down low to Nazar. Flips it towards the net. Stopped by Vejmelka. And he'll find the puck and stop play there. 18:22 to go in the third. Face off in the Czechia end. Controlled by Czechia. Here's Natchez who will bring it up here for Czechia. Outside to Pastrnak. Pastrnak tried to work it in. He works it in down low back behind the net. One-time try outside. Tip try out in front. Goes just wide of the net. And it comes out to center for McCarron. Here's O'Connor who comes in wide. Cuts inside. McCarron off the bar. Off the goalpost and away, and now on the turnover, a chance there for O'Connor. He turns inside, it goes through the crease, and it comes to the near side. Pastrnak there for the Czechia. As they try to get it out of the zone, they can't. Doan gets there for the Americans. Takes it in, and it goes right through the blue paint. That one might have even hit the bar as well. Doan now back in for the United States, floats it in. Doan tried to send it in on the doorstep, and Vejmelka says no. Good chance there for the Americans, as they were right there in the face of Vejmelka that entire turn. Face-off control by Czechia. Coming in wide, centering pass, a shot denied off a blocker out in front. Smith for the Americans. He gets cut off on his way through, and Czechia has the puck. Cervenka will bring it in. Floats it in around the boards. First guy to it is Brady Shea. Turns it over. Out in front, a whiff on the one-timer. Garland turns back here for the United States. Comes in wide. Garland back behind for Smith. Smith plays catch outside Shea. Connor Garland on the wing, pestered and turns it over. Back up to the point, kept in. Cooley sends it towards the net. Vejmelka sticks it aside. Over to the far half wall. A lot of bodies over there. Bodies tumbling to the ice. As Tkachuk gets there here for Czechia, and they send it all the way down, icing the call. Face-off controlled by the United States. Inside Gauthier, back out to Keller, to the point and Shea. Inside to the slot, Thompson tried to turn and fire, couldn't get it off cleanly. And now Cervenka. Cervenka back up, centering pass, and it comes into Swayman who kicks it away. 35 shots on goal for Czechia, 32 for the United States. Cutter Gauthier takes it in, score! Cutter Gauthier coast to coast, and the Americans strike again. Works his way past Vejmelka on the backhand. He takes it in himself. He was working it in with Tage Thompson, and Gauthier takes it in all the way for his second goal of the night. And it's 6-1 Team USA here in the third. And the Czechia favored crowd here booing the American success. Lauko's centering pass never got through, and the United States takes over. They're down by just one shot on goal now, 35-34. Tage Thompson tried to drop it off, and Vejmelka finds the puck. Face-off control by Czechia goes into the corner. Pinned there by Matty Beniers. Americans keep it alive. Beniers back up top. Boyum broke his stick on the shot. And it hits the loose stick and floats back out to the point. Nazar. Down low, Beniers inside. Pinto, score! Off the bobble, Pinto puts it in. His second. And the Americans blow it open. The broken stick actually helped the Americans. It kept it in the zone. And Pinto, right in the slot with a little bit of a bobble, just finds it and puts it in the net. Let's see if this wasn't an own goal here. It was an own goal. Wow. And they're going to change goaltenders on that. So Vejmelka gets the boot. A goaltender change here for Czechia. They trail by 6 now here in the third period. Matty Beniers brings it back into the zone for the Americans. Whipped at the top of the slot, and Czechia takes over. Hesselring now for the Americans. Pinto's got 2 goals in this game. Cutter Gauthier with 2 goals in this game for the Americans. Both of them searching for a hat trick here against Czechia. Pinto might have a shot here. Drops it off Beniers. Denied as it goes into the corner. Nazar keeps it alive. Back up to the point. Turnover. And now jailbreak Czechia for a moment. Good cut-off defense by Werenski. Nazar brings it back in. Drops it off. Werenski denied as it comes to the outside. Kesselring back inside in the slot. They score! Right on the doorstep. Frank Nazar. And the Americans taking over in this third period. And this is turning into another dominating performance by Team USA. As Vladar might have taken a stick to the back of the head there. No call. And we play on. Pastrnak up ahead for Czechia, the lone goal scorer. Inside rebound, score! Natchez off the rebound, and Czechia gets their second goal of the night. Swayman just got off balance. He made the save on the initial try, and then Martin Natchez had a wide open net. Swayman kicked it away, tried to get back, and just couldn't do it in time. Lost his footing as well. And Martin Natchez and David Pastrnak now the goal scorers for Team Czechia. Shots on goal even at 37, but the Americans have hit 8 of them. And it's 8-2 our score here between Czechia and the United States. Pasternak right back in to the outside, trying to feed it inside, and it deflects back behind the U.S. net. Lacombe there for the United States. Sedina there for Czechia. Loose puck floats out, and the United States can't get it out. Into the slot, a shot denied by Swayman. 11:14 to go in the third. Face-off control by Czechia. Off the goalpost and in. They score. It just caromed around down low, and Ronek puts it in for Team Czechia. That one hit the bar off the back of Swayman, and it just found its way across the goal line. 96 miles an hour up the pipe. Take a look at this deflection. That might have hit the goalpost twice. Just pinballing around back and forth, and it's 8-3. 5-goal game now, still a big lead for the United States, but Czechia with some life. Keller drops it off. Laurie off the skate, I believe, out in front. Thompson now back behind the net. Keller. Gautier works it in down low, and a penalty called here on Czechia for holding. And the goal scorer, Ronek, who just scored a goal moments ago, now heads to the penalty box as he pinned Gautier up against the boards. The United States 0 for 1 on the power play here in this game. Their penalty unit in here for the United States. They win the faceoff. Werenski sends it in, denied by Vladar. And it goes back out. Thompson out in front off a body. And Sedlock will flip it up and out. 39 shots on goal for both of these teams. Team USA leads by 5. Here's Czechia shorthanded. Out in front, a shot grabbed by Swayman. Face-off control by Czechia. And now a takeaway by Team USA. Here's Tage Thompson. Thompson dangles to the outside. Drops it off for Keller. Long shot deflected and wide of the net. Fleck tried to feed it in. Good cutoff by Kesselring as it floats in deep. Tage Thompson gets back for the United States. Logan Cooley. Into the slot. Keller denied by Vladar. .43 seconds to go on the man advantage here for Team USA. 5-goal game. Controlled by Czechia. And now a takeaway. Gautier tried to go for the hat trick there. Couldn't get a clean shot off. And Vladar stops another one. 35 seconds to go on the man advantage. Face-off controlled by the Americans. Smith with a bobble. Garland on the doorstep. Couldn't finish. Good stick by Vladar. Now Czechia back up shorthanded. Luko trying to find for some friends as he's pinned along the boards by a number of Americans. Back up to the point. A turn and a shot goes just wide off of Swayman. Penalty about to expire. United States sends it up and out of the box. Back to full strength comes Czechia. Ronek turns back in here for Czechia, looking for a center as he's cut off as it floats into the crease. Loose puck. Werenski gains control. Cutter Gautier looking for the hat trick. And he's denied by Vladar. Gauthier gets it back out. Shea now feeds it in. Gauthier back behind. McCarron there for the Americans. Takes it in, and he's denied by Vladar. Americans keep it alive. Shea, McCarron denied off the blocker. The rebound, score! McCarron this time puts it in. And the United States extends their lead. It's now a 6-goal game here against Czechia. Very patient for McCarron off the rebound. Settled down and fired a dart going top shelf. Nine goals tonight for Team USA, threatening to hit double digits again. As they bring it right back in with Doan. Centering pass, nobody home. Fleck takes it away for Czechia. Fleck brings it in wide, tried to send it in on the doorstep, denied by Swayman. And Lacombe picks up the loose change for the Americans. Here's Josh Doan. O'Connor with a bobble on his way in, takes it into the slot where he turns it over. Doan turns back for the Americans. Trying to drop it off into the slot, floats in on net, and Vladar stops play. Face-off controlled by Czechia. Pestered in their own end and turned over. Pinto, Nazar bobbles. Cervenka feeds it up. Kondracek. Fleck downstairs, a shot denied by Swayman. Beranek circles back in. Backhand to try, no. Rebound controlled by the United States. Nazar now pinned along the far half wall. 6 minutes to go here in the third. 47 shots on goal for the United States, 43 for Czechia. And the United States leads at 9-3 as this one flipped out of play. Face-off controlled by the United States. Matty Beniers with a bobble here in center. He gets hit hard. Pinto picks up the loose change, and he's denied by Vladar. Pinto gets it back. Works it right wing circle. Back up to the point. Lacombe back to Pinto. Him and Lacombe play catch. Now Werenski. Beniers back in to try, no. Rebound. Goes out to the far half wall. And Czechia will bring it out. Werenski cuts him off on his way in. Here's Nazar. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the game. Nazar cuts inside. Long shot off a body in front. Kept alive by Nazar, and Vladar says no. 50 shots on goal now for Team USA. Battle for it in the right wing circle. Thompson escapes the loose change, tipped around, and it goes out of harm's way. Czechia looks to get it out of the zone, and they will. Here's David Pasternak, who has a goal tonight for Czechia. Comes in back behind the net. Out in front, he serves. Loose puck into the slot, and Team USA escapes the pack. Keller. Centering pass to Gauthier. He's denied as he takes it in. Gauthier's down on the ground back behind the net. He's slow to get up. One-timer, tipped around. Gauthier there for the rebound. He can't finish. And Gauthier's had a few tries at a hat-trick attempt, and he hasn't been able to finish. Natchez back to Pasternak. Fires, saves, Swayman. Rebound goes wide. Werenski gets there for the United States. Inside a shot goes through the crease. He couldn't get all of it. And the United States will clear the zone. Cutter Gauthier, 2 goals tonight. Cut off on his way in. Pinned along the boards back behind the net. Out in front, a shot denied off a body in front. Keller keeps it alive. Werenski on the point. He tried to send it in towards the net. He's cut off. And now here comes Czechia. 2-on-2. Couldn't get a clean shot off back behind the net. O'Connor there for the United States in the trapezoid. Clayton Keller picks up the loose change. Laurie will bring it up through center for the United States. Just over 2 minutes to go. Laurie circles back behind the net. Sends it back out to the point. Tip try out in front. And it's denied by Vladar. Cervenka. Centering pass. Fleck, shot denied by Swayman. And it comes all the way through and back. Icing is the call here on Team USA. Face-off control by Czechia. Ronek with a bobble. Turns, fires, wide of the net. Rebound off the boards. Goes into the corner. Under 90 seconds to go here in the game. Penalty called, and a score! Right as the penalty is called on Team USA, Kondelik puts it in for Czechia. And they score again here in the final minutes. So off the delayed penalty, Czechia adds another goal to the board. 9-4 now our score. Just over a minute to go. So the Americans are going to go through pool play undefeated after tonight. 9 more goals scored, barring another one here in the next minute. Kondelik brings it up for Czechia, out in front, intercepted by Cooley. Garland back the other way. Here he comes with a head of speed. Centering pass to Smith. Couldn't get a clean shot off. Floats back out. And a takeaway by Smith. Turns back. Kept in on the point by Laurie. Down low, Cooley. 31 seconds to go in the period. Laurie outside Shea. Inside Cooley, whiffed. Good cutoff by Czechia. And maybe one final push here for Czechia as Ronek will bring it up. He sends it in on Swayman, who stops play. 19 seconds left. Ronek has one of the goals tonight for Czechia. On that bullet right there on the outside. 4 goals here for Team Czechia. And getting 4 goals against this Team USA team here in pool play has not been an easy feat for these teams that Team USA has just been dominating ever since the start of this tournament. But now we're going to get into the real thing after this game here tonight. The only other undefeated team is in the A pool. Team USA in the B pool undefeated after tonight. The only other undefeated team is Team Sweden, who's tied at the top of the standings if you put this whole tournament together. Brown didn't like something that happened as Cooley brings it up. Drops it off for Smith. He dangles. Never got a shot off. And that is gonna do it. Team USA wins another one as they are undefeated here in pool play as they win it by 5, 9-4, the final score. And Jeremy Swayman, another good game in between the pipes. Not his best of the tournament, but he got the job done. And Team USA wins it 9-4 to finish off pool play undefeated. Them and Sweden, the teams to beat on their respective sides of the bracket. Team Canada, you have to imagine, will be in the mix as well on the other side. Team USA undefeated in pool play as they beat Czechia by a score of 9-4 here tonight. And another excellent performance by the Americans.